This is the terrifying truth about the eye. Let's play it. Play.
Our creativity, intuition, and spiritual insight. This is where visualization comes in. See, the process of visualization is actually rooted in the concept of eternity, which suggests that time is not linear, but rather an infinite and boundless field of possibility. By recognizing that the past, the present, and the future all exist simultaneously in one field, we can tap into a sense of limitless potential, which opens up a world of infinite possibilities. Guys, I'm super excited to get into this video with you, so without further delay, let's jump right into it. Okay, so imagine if I were to reveal to you a truth that's been concealed within the very depths of the human body, that even the CIA has a document about it, that's been classified for over 20 years. Now, what if I told you that there exists a mysterious organ that holds within it the power to unlock extraordinary abilities?
The pituitary gland? Oh no, the pineal gland, I bet.
Its role in regulating the body's circadian rhythms and the production of melatonin has been very well established. But its full potential actually remains shrouded in mystery and subject to ongoing research and exploration. The third eye, situated deep within the center of our forehead, has been a long subject of fascination and study among scientists and researchers, philosophers alike. The concept of the third eye may appear enigmatic and elusive to some, but they actually present a profound opportunity for others to gain a powerful insight into their own consciousness. Ancient Egyptian civilizations depicted the power of the third eye via the Eye of Horus. Even the ancient city of Atlantis is now thought to have been situated in the Sahara and is depicted in the shape of an eye.
Wow.
This location is known as the Rishat structure, or the Eye of the Sahara. Curiously, shaped like an eye. One crucial key to understanding is this. There's a very strange link between the physical, the mental, and the spiritual planes of existence. By understanding this link, you can gain a more profound perception of your identity and position in the world. Now, the correlation between the heart and the mind in particular presents an incredible resource for attaining access to the power of reality creation, a power once possessed and actually abused by the ancient masters. Let me make this clear. The ancient civilizations, they were anything but ordinary. They were truly remarkable and incredibly advanced, surpassing even the modern world in their knowledge of physiology.
Yeah, can you imagine if the people who existed back then time traveled to now and saw our society and experienced our degenerate culture? Like how offended and shocked they would be.
Anatomy and many other things. They could visualize the workings of the body from the beating of the heart to the firing of the very neurons in the brain. This knowledge and awareness allowed them to unlock the power of the third eye, a mystical concept that allows one to access a state of heightened consciousness. By understanding the body's energy centers and how to activate them, they were able to achieve a state of heightened awareness. And this allowed them to tap into a level of consciousness that was once beyond the realm of normal human experience. These secrets, once considered too powerful for mere mortals, have been carefully guarded.
Who wants in on this shit? I do.
And passed down from centuries, generations to generations, held only by a select few who possess the power to be able to fathom them, to be able to yield them. Now, recently, I've been experimenting with visualization and the relationship between the third eye, the intellectual center of the human being. And I'm super excited to share with you a crucial visualization technique that I've discovered so that you can begin to experience powerful results in your reality right now. To fully utilize this method, we must understand three main things. the third eye and its workings, the mechanism of visualization, and finally, the congruence and the importance of achieving a congruence between our conscious and subconscious mind. So let's jump right into it. So let's begin with the third eye and gaining a better understanding of it, why this becomes so crucial in using this visualization process. To begin with, if you look at many different cultures, especially it's most prevalent in ancient yogic cultures, the third eye is known as the Ajna chakra.
There's a reason why ancient Christianity, when they took over India, how they demonized the yogis and all the people who worked with energies and consciousness. And modern Christianity says that all this stuff is evil because it was a way of keeping people in their place and not allowing them to explore their complete human potential. We've been dwarfed, stunted, oppressed, spiritually, physically, financially, psychologically.
7 different chakras, and the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, is known as the highest domain in the duality realm. To go from the Ajna to the highest, the crown chakra, or the Sahasrara, I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, there's a sharp jump that needs to happen. So for human beings in daily life, if you can get your energy up from the root, the lowest chakra, which is only concerned with survival and sleep and just survival motives, if you can get up to the...
That's the Kundalini spiral from your root chakra to your pineal gland.
Intellectual center. This is known as the intellectual center. Then we'll be able to tap into higher faculties to influence life, and pretty much 80 to 90% of your life, your destiny, will be in your own hands. So this is known in ancient yogic culture as intellectual center, the third eye. Now, something interesting that happened was recently I was studying Jose Silva's mind control method, and upon going through it, I realized that Jose Silva talks...
I took that class, the Jose Silva psychic class. I can't believe it. He's talking about
visualization too. And this is where my epiphany came in. Upon studying that work, he says when you visualize using these methods, first you have to center yourself and access this alpha state, which is where your brain waves slow down so you can become more calm and relaxed and project better. So you have to get to the state of nothingness to create something. You can't create something from another thing. You have to empty your glass to fill it up with what you want to fill it up with. But on top of that, he also talks about the importance of having your eyes turned upward. So as you close your eyes, you turn it upwards and then you visualize. This is quite curious to me because when you do this, upon doing many different yogic practices, I've realized that when you have your eyes turned upwards, immediately you feel a focus right here where your third eye will be located. So you can try this with me right now. Just close your eyes and just turn your eyes upward until you feel some pressure in the middle of your forehead. I can feel that right now.
It's so hard to do.
So this is what happens when we do that. But I didn't quite understand why Jose Silva would talk about this until I linked both this visualization method that I'm going to show you throughout the end of this video and the power of the third eye. So this led me to understanding another concept that I learned a very long time ago. And this is in the perception of what's known as the all space, okay? If you read ancient Hermetic work, okay, ancient Hermeticism has been one of the...
And I read I listened to the audiobook on Hermetic philosophy. Kybalion. This guy's he's my people.
First teachings by the masters, by this great being called Hermes Trismegistus. He was literally called the 3 times greatest because he had mastered the physical, mental, and spiritual planes of existence. Trismegistus means the thrice greatest, and that's why he's called that. Hermes talked about the all space, and in one of the principles in this ancient Hermetic book, he talks about how the all is all there is. There is nothing outside of the all. There's no need to worry because everything is within the all.
My name is Brian Peterson. and I'm inviting you to attend my free.
Hi, Brian. You have a nice beard, but we gotta go.
What the third eye allows us to do is to perceive things that's outside of our physical senses. Okay, so our physical senses are the five senses: touch, taste, smell, feel, hear. Aside from that, what is this third eye meant to do? It's meant to perceive that which is beyond the senses. What is beyond the senses? There's all space. There's all space that contains every possible combination of realities that can be manifested. Quantum physics has started to talk about this a lot. They're talking about now how there's different parallel realities that we can experience. So let me ask you this. Why do you think you're experiencing this particular reality in which you are like this, your family's like this, all of the situations in your life, your environment is a particular way? It's because of some energy, right? Because of some energy that we're resonating and vibrating with. If we were vibrating with a different energy or a different frequency, we're attuned to a certain frequency, then we would be experiencing a different sector of this all space, right? So this all space literally contains every possible reality, every possible combination of a reality that can be manifested. A reality in which you're rich, a reality in which you're poor, a reality in which you're alive, a reality in which you're not even born. So what's the receiving center of this all space? You know, what's determining what we're experiencing right now? This is what brings me to the brain. Okay, so I want you to think about the brain this way. If we took the brain apart, we wouldn't find all of these possible realities, would we? It's kind of like taking apart a TV. You wouldn't find all the channels inside of the TV. The TV is simply a receiver of all of the channels. The channels exist in the form of waves. So kind of like that, I believe the brain is a receiving center for all of these possible realities. So this is where visualization comes in, by the way. When we have our hearts and minds attuned, we are vibrating along a certain frequency. And that's when we tap into a certain sector of the alternative space and experience the current reality that we're experiencing. This took me a very, very long time to figure out. And this is exactly why I'm so excited to share with you this visualization technique, which is going to completely change your life. So this brings me to the next point, which is understanding the importance, the significance of visualization, of which there are two main types. The two main types are, first of all, there's goal visualization, in which you think and focus all your efforts, the image that you create in your mind's eye is of the final goal. And there is process visualization, which is the focus on the movement towards the goal. So goal is focus on the final long-term goal. To give you an example of this, you look at something 10 years from now, something about which you have no idea how to get there. So maybe you want to quit your job and work in a business that you're passionate about and something that you enjoy. And as a result, you have happened to make money from it. That's something you create a picture of in your mind's eye. But you don't quite know how to get out of this current situation that you're at right now. That's completely fine. That's where we begin with goal visualization. Goal visualization is great because it focuses your subconscious mind on the final picture, which gives you insights into the intermediary steps or the process that will allow you to get there, which leads me to the next part, process visualization. Process visualization is a focus on movement towards the goal. You can visualize the goal all you want, but if there's no movement, there will be no bridging the gap between your current and your desired life lines. So in this alternative space, there's different pictures that we have, different desired realities that we have. You can pick a desired reality, but if it's too far out into the future, and the energetic frequency that it vibrates at is too different from your current lifeline, there will need to be some sort of movement that bridges the gap between your current and your desired life. So to fully understand this, we have to look at the causal chain. Let's say A is your current, this is your current state. Let's say C is your desired state, which would be the goal. B would be the process that allows you to get there. Now, the key thing about the process is it's an intermediary step, okay? It's anything in between. That's the next immediate step after A. So, to give you a much better example, in my personal life, when I wanted to do exactly what I described to you, when I wanted to quit that soul-sucking engineering job that I was supposed to go into full-time, I quit that to start up my own business, which is making YouTube videos and becoming a coach. At that point, I had no idea how any of this would happen, right? So I visualized what my life looks like 5-10 years from now in the long term, which was my goal. My goal was to wake up next to the partner of my dreams, live in a mansion in LA or somewhere up in the hills, and also do something that I love to do, which is, I didn't know what that was actually. Frankly speaking, I had no clue what that was, but I just visualized that I'm doing something that fulfills me, excites me, and energizes me. And I visualized that for a very long time. That was the goal. As I visualized the goal, and as I expanded my comfort zone, these two things need to happen. For you to get an insight into the process, you have to first visualize the goal that you want to manifest, and also continually expand your comfort zone. This is where B comes in. B is a process of expanding your comfort zone. So when I visualized that goal, and every single day I did something that would get me out of my comfort zone, try something new, take a new path to work, invest in a mentorship or a program that I would never do, or learn a new skill, pick up a new hobby. I'm continually expanding my comfort zone every single day. What happened was I had the idea to start up a YouTube channel, but I didn't know then that was the process. But I visualized that process. I'm going to show you how to do that. I visualized that process, and what happened was that was starting to bridge the gap. By the way, making YouTube videos at the time for me was very, very uncomfortable, right? That was something completely foreign to me. It was completely new to me. I had no idea what people would think.
Same. I'm introverted, so this process for me has been confidence building, getting comfortable, being more verbose, because introverts don't like the spotlight on them. So I feel what he's saying very deeply.
I was making videos about stuff that people in my circle didn't talk about. Like when my friends were watching videos of me talking about spirituality and manifestation, they were like, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? Just get a job and make money. Because that's what people know.
I know.
And I don't blame them. But I was just visualizing me being successful with it when I started off. And I had no clue how it would lead me there. But step by step, the process evolved as I kept visualizing the goal, and as I kept being more and more uncomfortable, and I kept moving towards what I thought would lead me there. That's exactly what happened. So for me, the current situation was me at my job. The desired goal was me gaining freedom from my job and having financial freedom. And the process was, at that time, make YouTube videos.
Yes.
And I visualized that until making YouTube videos led me to becoming financially free. So this turned into people reaching out to me for coaching, and then I visualized me being successful at coaching, and then I visualized me growing coaching. Do you see how this is evolving? It's just me being uncomfortable at every single stage in my life, focusing on a process that I think, this is key, that I thought would get me there. You already have an idea of what would bridge you from your current to your desired. It's not clear to you yet because your subconscious mind isn't fully focused on the goal, which is what I'm going to show you how to do. But for now, I want you to know this, that there is goal visualization and process visualization. You need both. Another example of this, one of our clients, Stefan, did this very recently. So Stefan was also in college at the time when he joined our program. And his goal was to gain financial freedom and do what he loved to do. But back then, he didn't know what he wanted to do. It's quite similar to me. He just knew that what he didn't want to do was just go into a job. So he joined the program, used the tools, gained clarity on that long-term vision, and all of a sudden he had an idea to...
This is so funny. This subject matter is hilarious, and I think that so many of us can relate to it.
Start a biohacking business. Okay, so this is more like a performance coaching. Now he helps entrepreneurs and business owners get better performance so they can perform better in their business, optimize their health to the best of their ability so they can focus more. And so he had the idea to do that, and he used process visualization to become more and more uncomfortable every single day. What happened was within 2 years, he went from having no clue about what he wanted to do. He just posted in a group saying he made his first $50K month in this venture that he's been in for the past year. And that's quite amazing to see, right? Like how that evolved from having no clue about what he wanted to do to gaining clarity to working step by step, day by day, becoming the version he needed to be. And now, voila, an overnight success after 2-3 years. So that's what happens when you have the right systems and right tools to use for your development, to actually create your destiny. So I'm super excited to share this with you, but the last thing you have to understand is the congruence, achieving congruence between our conscious and subconscious minds. So let's get right into that. Okay, so now let's talk about one of the most crucial aspects to reality creation, to using this, which is understanding how to align your conscious and your subconscious. Most of the time, as we're going through life, when we have goals, the reason we can't achieve them is because there's an incongruence between what we consciously want and what we subconsciously think and feel about it. Okay? So there are things within our subconscious that we're holding onto that aren't quite serving us. We've picked up this conditioning from our past, from experiences that we've had, and how we've processed these experiences. So as human beings grow and develop and move on through life, what you'll notice is a lot of people, as they get older, they lose their childlike sense of joy. Okay, when you were 14 years old, you were 6 years old, 7 years old, you were just a kid, playing. You felt like a kid. You felt empty, right? But then as you get older and older, you'll see people, their faces will hang lower, they'll feel heavier, they'll just look like they're drained of life. And it's because of all of these experiences that we collect. Unfortunately, we become a walking bundle of traumas, okay? And this is because people don't really know how to properly process all of these feelings and all of these experiences that have happened. And we just stuff them in, and we suppress them, and eventually they become repressed and start to act out in different ways in our lives. And then...
So when you need to cry, cry. I know it feels weird and vulnerable, but when you're feeling a feeling, allow yourself to feel it and move through it. Because the longer you numb it, or screw it away, drink it away, distract yourself with something else, the prolonged pain happens within your life and within your body.
We just can't explain why these things are happening. We can't explain why we set about on a goal to start up a business, but then we just can't do it. And then we keep hopping from one business opportunity to the next, and we keep starting and we keep trying shiny objects, we keep procrastinating. Why do these things keep happening? Because subconsciously there's something that's holding you back. So the job is to get ourselves congruent, consciously and subconsciously. So this brings me to understanding a very crucial concept that every single culture, every single ancient civilization, everything that I've studied, they always talk about this. The importance of creating a heart and mind coherence. What does that mean? If you look at the mind, how the mind works is it's the collector of experiences. The heart simply listens to what the mind says. So in a sense, the mind is a gatekeeper.
Conduit.
When the mind gives permission, the heart is allowed to feel it or go along that particular line.
Yeah.
So for example, when you think about a goal, you really want it, right? Emotionally, you really want it. But intellectually what happens is the mind comes in and says, this is not possible because X, Y, and Z happened in the past. That person went through that. The mind just interrupts and does not give permission for the heart to feel the way that it wants to feel. Okay? The heart's like a kid. The heart is like the kid, that 14-year-old, that 7-year-old kid that's empty, that doesn't have a well-developed intellectual mind to come in and interrupt and just hinder the process. So that's the biggest problem we all face. Our minds have become a little too overdeveloped.
And therefore, you don't have an ability to listen to what your heart wants because your mind is too busy talking you out of it.
So to give you an example of this, think about any goal that you have. If you've been trying to grow past a certain point in your career or grow past a certain point in your business, there are some parts of your business and your career that you don't like. We tell ourselves, oh, I don't like this. I don't feel passionate about this. I feel burnt out. But you know you've got to do certain things to move forward, but you just can't get yourself to do it. This is the disharmony, the disparity that we have between the conscious and the unconscious, or the heart and mind.
Yeah.
On the other hand, think about the simple act of raising your arm. Do you have any doubts about raising your arm? You just simply do it, right? So in this action, there is a clear intention. There is a clarity of intention. I'm exercising clarity of intention. There is no thinkingness involved. On the other hand, if you just think about raising your arm for like a minute before you raise it, you'll have a lot more hesitation and doubt.
Yeah.
So the challenge becomes people
So
just
true.
don't know how to, we just don't know how to deal with this heavy mind that keeps interrupting, that keeps overthinking, judging, criticizing, and just ruminating. So this creates more hesitation, which creates more doubt, which prevents people from moving forward in their lives. One way is to just overwhelm the thinking mind, but that's easier said than done. So I'm going to share with you a way in which you can overcome this thinking mind, overcome all of the conditioning, so that you can achieve a clarity in the heart and the mind, okay? So this brings me to understanding clarity of intention. So understand how we've been conditioned in this physical world. In this physical world, we're physical beings and we believe in taking physical action. That's why so many people are so hell-bent on taking massive action to try and accomplish something. No one really understands the power of what's beyond the action. Who am I being in every single moment? Because the being determines the doing, which ultimately determines what you have. Now, going along that line, if we talk about doing, if we truly believe that doing something would get us somewhere, we must work with the current confines of our conditioning. You cannot try to change who you are. You have to work with what you've got. You know, it's futile to try and change something about you, because you'll immediately be met with resistance and it'll immediately create an internal conflict, a fight between the two selves. The key here is anytime we want to bridge the gap between our intellectual and our emotional thoughts and feelings, or our conscious and our subconscious, we need what's called an action condition. So bear with me for a second here while I explain this. So what is an action condition? An action condition helps us bridge the gap between A and C. Remember when we talked about process visualization? That's where action condition comes in. It allows us to create this bridge between our current situation and our desired situation. So if you were in the situation where I was at, or where Stefan was at, you know, in a place that's drastically different from where you want to be, and you can't possibly see yourself getting there, right? You can't see how you would go from here to that ideal situation. What do? This is where action condition comes in, because our minds have been very, very conditioned to accept readily that, hey, if I do this, I can get there. So let's define the parameters here. So let's say A is your current situation, and B would be the action condition, the bridge, if you will, and C would be the desired situation or solution. Let's define a situation for yourself. So what I want you to do right now is just pause this video and define these parameters for yourself. Define your current situation, something that you hate, something that you're opposed to. I want you to feel all the negative emotions associated with it. This is very, very crucial for the next part of the exercise that we're going to do, the visualization technique. Okay? So define the problem and make sure you have all of the terrible feelings, the thoughts, or whatever associated with it as strong as you can make them. And then I want you to define the solution, what the solution could look like. Once this problem is solved, what it could look like. So to give you an example, I was speaking to one of our clients, and he said he was in a lot of debt. Okay, so solution A for him would be debt. Him just, paying interest through the roof every single month and just not having enough money left over. That's painful for him. He's focusing in on that pain. C, the desired solution would be debt-free, earning surplus of income, having an abundance, doing what he wants to do, traveling, all of the things that he wanted to do once he's debt-free. Now B, this is where it's crucial. Understanding an action condition. What could he potentially do that would get him there? So what's the first step you could take? What's one step you could take to get you from your current situation A, one step closer to your desired situation C? Okay? So in the instance of this particular client, he could put down study real estate, get into real estate investing, or get into credit repair. Look at different credit repair services. So anything simple, and jot that down. So I want you to pause this video right now and just jot down these three things. And now we're going to move to the next part of the video where you're going to need to use this, the visualization technique. So let's jump right into that. Okay, so the meditation process the visualization technique that I'm about to share with you right now. It's something that I learned from Jose Silva's Mind Control course. Now, there's a couple of steps before we do this. So I want you to go and sit somewhere and be relaxed, comfortable with no distractions, okay? This is very, very important. Now, something I want to say before we get started with the meditation is this is something I've been doing for the last couple of weeks, and I've already seen miraculous changes happen in my reality. So a couple of little things is, fixing certain business problems that we've been going through. Just some challenges, nothing really major, but it's surprising to see how easily and quickly it fixes itself and you get aligned to it. The next thing is in my golf game, I've seen myself improve literally by using this process visualization. So the basis of this visualization method is its process visualization. It's when you know, and you kind of know what the step is for you to get to that next level, okay? If you don't know what the next step is, you need to work with goal visualization and expanding your comfort zone. Remember those two keys. Visualizing the final ultimate goal and just continually expanding your comfort zone every single day, okay? So this technique is called the 3 scenes visualization, okay? What I want you to do before we get started is there are basically 5 steps to this, and I'm going to read out the 5 steps to you before we get started, so you're basically prepped. Step number 1, have your ABCs ready. We literally just did that right now. If you haven't done it, go do it right now. Define A, what A would look like, your current situation or problem that you would like to solve. Define B, what would an action condition look like that would get you to that next step, and what would C look like, the desired situation when the problem is solved and life is hunky-dory, okay? And C doesn't have to be that final destination. It could be just that next step. It could be just an immediate problem that you're facing. So to give you that example of being debt-free, you could use something similar to that, or you could do something similar to you improving a certain aspect of your golf game like I did, or a certain aspect of your business. Maybe you're struggling with sales. Maybe you see that currently you're struggling a lot with closing deals. B would be, you studying something with sales, doing something in action condition. It's like, if I do this, then I will improve. This, again, gets you aligned both intellectually and emotionally, right? We're creating that congruence because the mind really needs something to open itself up, to open up the gates to the heart. So, number 1, have your ABCs ready. Number 2, what we're going to do is I'm going to show you a method to achieve the alpha state of mind. We have different brainwave states. The alpha state is when we get the emptiest. It's one of the most ideal states to begin creation. If we go below alpha to theta, people can get a bit sleepy. Okay, so that's not the most ideal. Jose Silva says we got to get to the alpha brainwave state at the very least. So how we're going to do that is I'm going to ask you to count to 3 times and visualize the number 3 times. Visualize the number 2 3 times, and visualize the number 1 3 times as you exhale, okay? Don't worry, I'm going to guide you. It's completely fine. And then when I snap, you will feel as though you're in the alpha state of mind. Number 3, then what you're going to do is you're going to roll your eyes upwards and feel a pressure on the third eye, or this point right here, okay? And then we're going to begin visualizing. Now this can get a little bit tricky because we're going to have 3 different scenes. Now, the first scene, scene number A, the problem scene, will be right at the center. Scene number B, the process scene, will be 1 step to the left, and scene number 3 will be another step to the left. The reason why we do this is because Jose Silva thought that time, how we perceive time, is kind of from the right to left. Right is the present or past, and left is the future. I don't know why this works. I've just tried to do it and it worked for me, so I'm sharing it with you, okay? And I hope you try it out, and I hope it works for you too. So we'll do that, and then at the end, this is the part that I feel is the most powerful. We're going to imagine everything that we've done right now. We're going to collect into one ball of energy and send it up. It's almost as though we're sending it up to God, the universe, a higher power, okay? So let's jump right in with the meditation. So, as you have your ABCs ready, I want you to relax and close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale and relax. One more deep breath. Exhale and relax. Now inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to visualize the number 3 times. 3, 3, 3. Inhale, and as you exhale, I want you to visualize the number 2 3 times. 2, 2, 2. Now I want you to visualize the number 1 3 times. 1, 1, 1. You are now in the alpha state of mind. Feel the presence of your third eye as you turn your eye upwards. And now craft a scene of the problem. Feel the feelings associated with being stuck, with failing, all the negative feelings associated with it. Feel the pain, feel the suffering, feel it in every single bone in your body, and see the picture. Be one step to the left. See yourself doing something. See yourself going on this journey of improvement, taking some action. Act, act, and more action. See things improving. And finally, one last step to the left. Scene number C. All your problems have been solved. You're living your best life. Feel the feelings associated. What it feels like to solve the problem. What it feels like to be victorious. What it feels like to be powerful. It's all yours. Now on the count of 3, we're going to collect everything into one ball of energy and send it up. With a sharp exhale. 1, 2, 3. Everything's now been taken care of. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Now, the key with this is, I want you to do this once every day with a new problem, and wait for 3 days to see if you've had any sort of solution to this problem, or if you've seen an improvement. The reason why we don't want to keep interrupting again and again is because it's kind of like placing an order to the universe, or like placing an order at a restaurant, but you keep updating the order again and again. Don't mess with it. Just stay with it, see if you receive any sort of feedback from your universe, and see what happens. And then after 3 days you can return back to it. But it's good to do it on new problems every single day, because then you can initiate new solutions, okay? But ideally, I would say don't do it for more than 3 to 4 different problems, or 3 to 4 areas of your life. I like to do it with health, wealth, relationships, and spirituality. So what I want you to do right now is, if you haven't watched the goal visualization, I highly, highly urge you to get a refresher on it. It's one of the most powerful things I've ever done. I've put the link to it right here. You can click right here. That's the original third eye video. When you combine the goal visualization with the process visualization, you make magic happen. Like, movement in your reality happens faster than ever before. So click right here to watch this video in full, and I'll see you in this next one right now. Thanks.
That was great. So I hope you all try that. I took Jose Silva's class in 2021. I think like in March, April. I should probably revisit that. That was a nice reminder. I hope you enjoyed that. This guy's great. Quasi Johar. I like him very much. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And I hope you tune in again. Thanks for watching.